What's going on, guys? Your everyday options trader back here with yet another video for you. I know it's been a little while, but I've been working on a few things and I'm very excited to show it with you all. This will be starting my new series of just basically my pure technical analysis on things. I've come to the realization over the past couple months that indicators are not everything, and it matters much more what you feel about the trade and your specific and particular opinions on said trade and said stock. Because at the end of the day, guys, it's a coin flip, right? You're either right or you're wrong, and it's how you manage it and how you take your wins and take your losses and take your profits. Really, ultimately, at the end of the day, is going to dictate what kind of trader you are. So, jumping right into it here, guys, our first stock this morning is going to be Target. Now, I know the stock has been through a little bit of some controversial stuff with this whole, rainbow capitalism crap, but this does present an excellent opportunity for us. You can see I'm up here on TradingView. I have the 1-day chart up. So we are looking at the 1-day on Target. Of course, we have our RSI here. I've been playing around with this order block detector here. Seems to work pretty well. Seems fairly accurate. You can see we have our top and our bottom here. And then just a little bit of drawings that I've done. So I'll just jump right into it. So obviously we have had quite a few red days here on Target. And if you know anything about really anything, what goes down must come back up again, guys. So we have a little bit of a buy opportunity here. Let me go ahead and get rid of this because that's just my junk. 150, and we'll go ahead and chart it out for you guys. All right, so you can see we had this big old gap down right here back in last May, so about a year ago, with Target here, and it's just been pretty much in this kind of lull. Now recently you can see we have our lows right here that were just blown out. So obviously we do have a change of trend here. We're going more towards a downtrend, but we are more than likely going to get a bounce here because this order block detector seems to think that we're close to a bottom, which would be this green zone right here. Let me blow this up a little bit for you guys. So these were our previous lows here around that 138 area. You can see our RSI is severely oversold right now. So we do probably have a pullback coming. I wouldn't be surprised if it is right around this 130 area. As you know, the stock market does like whole numbers for some reason for resistance. So obviously that 130 is probably going to be a pretty tough nut to crack here. I would probably set my stops on this somewhere around that 125 zone. But honestly, if you wanted to say, even get in right here, and you could take a measured move probably to 150 or so, because we're going to assume that, hey, we're in a downtrend, right? Until that breaks out somehow, we are going to assume that we are in a downtrend until we get a higher high, basically breaking this 160 area, um, being that we now have lower lows here. So obviously follow the charts, not the news, guys. Very, very important here. The news may be bad on something, but at the end of the day, it's going to get to a certain point where it's going to be a value for somebody out there with a lot of money to come and throw at this. And if they think it's a good price and jump in, you're going to see an exact, nice, sharp reversal. Now, that's obviously what we hope for here. But as well, you can see there's a lot of slow trades. So, looking at the length of a lot of these, it's 1 to 2-ish months, per kind of slide trend. That's not to say you can't make money a little bit faster. Um, but going forward here with Target, so probably I would look to enter somewhere around here. And guys, of course, none of this is financial advice. This is more for myself, just to come back and kind of view my trade ideas and hopefully help you guys out with some ideas as well. So please, obviously, do, take all this with a grain of salt. Don't purely copy my trades, do your own research. And hopefully this is going to be an avenue for you guys to do some research. But um, going back into it here, probably look honestly, around 130 would be a good entry point if I started to see, maybe let's say today, um, we get down to about 130. You can see we're 133.60 right now. So about $3 away. Yesterday we moved $5, so we could definitely get to 130 and see a little bit of a bounce. I'd wait to see some kind of reaction to this level here. Um, Try and see some kind of pullback, or something where we have basically exactly what looks like this here, where these candles are, they have longer wicks at the top. They're trying to break through, but they just can't. And then you eventually see the decline here, moving downward. So I'd like to see a little bit of rejection here, obviously. If we don't, and it just breaks through this area right here, you could definitely see it going, pretty far down, obviously, because there's not a whole lot of support back in here for it. This next level would probably be around that 114-ish. Move this. So yeah, probably about 114 if we break that. So just a couple ideas for you guys, just something to look at. So, depending on the reaction we get in this zone here, right? Obviously, it's either going to go up or it's going to go down. So, you just have to make sure you pick the right direction here, and stick with it. Don't jump back and forth, right? Because at the end of the day, it's going to go up or it's going to go down, right? You can make money both ways, but you have a 50-50 shot, which, if you're playing it right, if you're sticking into it, if you say run an options trade for a month, maybe keep rolling it if it keeps going your way. Something like a good, nice, smooth, long trend like this. I mean, you could have rolled that from December all the way to basically, close to the end of February, beginning of February here. So, it really, it can be very, very beneficial to play long game. I always now recommend, please start on this 1 day chart, or even the 1 week chart. That's going to give you a really good idea of the direction that you're going. Yes, the moves are slower, but the more time you have to analyze, the more time you have to say, hey, this is the right decision. It's going to bounce here. I'm going to stick with it. That mentality, hey, the stock's going to break this. We're going to go move lower. So I'm going to stick into my shorts, continue it out. Um, and just keep rolling them options. I'd say probably, start with 2 weeks out, depending on where you're seeing these reactions, and then, keep rolling, use those profits to just get back in. And that's how you really ultimately scale, guys. You really got to just do that. But I'm definitely getting a little sidetracked here, but I definitely feel like, me personally, right? Do do your own research, guys. Me personally, I think that, you know, possibly could see a move upwards here, to that 150 area, right? Not a guarantee. Obviously, nothing's a guarantee. We do have this kind of fair value gap here, um, between 145 and 147. So that might prove a little bit of resistance, but I feel like it's going to at least hunt back up. Definitely, I'd start to take profits probably about 145. So from where we're at now, if you can catch it around 130 to 145, that's a $15 move. Um, and those you'd make a pretty penny off those contracts for sure. So, um, definitely something to look at, and you know, just watch moving forward. There's not much lower we can go on the RSI, guys. So there's definitely going to be a little bit of a bounce here. It's just what the charts say, right? Regardless of the news. Um, all right, my next one here I've been looking at is Meta. So Meta, you know, obviously last year we had this huge, just crushing dip on Meta. Um, Now that obviously we have kind of started to move into that gap. So that being said, we have a severely overbought RSI. I think the last time we were close to that level of overboughtness was February, the beginning of February. That was at 83, and we're at 79 currently. So definitely, something to pay attention to and watch here. But we do have some nice resistance here, probably right at the bottom of this trend. Obviously, if we break that, we're definitely, moving towards an uptrend. As you move forward, this is really going to be your trend change here, just a little bit above there. Above here as your next level going forward. But definitely looking at this one. These AI stocks, these tech stocks have pumped a lot over the past couple weeks. So they are definitely getting into the realm of severely overbought here. Um, so definitely something to watch for sure. I know some of you guys maybe watching the debt ceiling deal and all that stuff go down and think the market's going to go down, and you know I'm a firm believer of that as well. I think we'll have a move downwards. How big? I don't know. Some people are saying 30, 40%, 5, 10% is, the normal. So, hey guys, e- even if we got 12%, right? It's not that bad at the end of the day because it's just 12%. Shoot, you'll probably lose more on an options trade, you know? That's why we don't have 401ks, guys, you know? I prefer to manage my own money here. That way, I'm in control of how much I lose. But anyways, so back in here to Meta, I could see it moving upwards just a little bit, not not too far past this. But we are down a little bit in the pre-market. It's looking like we might have hit a top here. We'll see what the reaction is if we can get at least below this 251. That's definitely telling me, hey, we might be breaking the trend here and moving downwards, possibly, retest this kind of 214-ish area, 215-ish, um, down from 260. So that's not bad. That's quite a bit of money, and obviously that could be over the next couple months. It just really is going to depend here. And you see, obviously, we have had a few bad earnings and had a good earnings cause that jump there, but definitely starting to see a little bit of exhaustion forming here. We do have a very, very, very high RSI again, indicating that we're pretty overbought here. Even though our Lux Algo zone is up here, I mean, I'm really, really feeling like we'll reject off of this zone, and we may be already. So definitely looking to short here. Um, Next one I'm going to move into here is Apple, guys. So Apple's kind of been the silent giant for us here. So you can see we have been kind of in a downtrend and just recently had a breakout up here. So let's see, where are we at? So we are currently above our highs from last August, which is good. And guys, remember now, Apple is a $1 trillion company. It is huge. It makes up a large percentage of the Nasdaq. So if Apple, stays high, stays good, you're not gonna have if you have a downplay, you're not going to have a huge downplay because Apple is just such a large percentage, and they're a very, very stable and secure company. But you can see here, we're not really overbought on the RSI. We're just kind of meh. We are above the August highs. Let's see if we break. So this is going to be March highs of last year, and then our January highs of last year. So I mean, above 182, we're definitely in an uptrend. That's kind of the end all be all trend breaker right there. So we definitely see some upside potential for Apple here. Not necessarily have a good entry for it right now, but it is something that obviously recently has broken out of a trend. I'd probably wait for a little bit of a retest. Maybe have something where it comes up a little bit, and then we see another move downwards, and then ultimately, moves up. We'll make that green. So basically something like that would be what I would be looking for Apple here. Or alternatively, we come down, we retest, and we break out to the downside. We'll make that one red. So that could potentially be something that I'd be looking at for Apple. Something I've been watching there. No good entry right now. I mean, you could and just try and ride it up a little bit more. But ultimately, you're kind of in uncharted territory here. There's not really any looking left, as they say. There's not really any support or resistance over there because it's just gone up the entire time. So, I mean, you can see overall we are still in an uptrend. You know, done done pretty well, just going up, going forward. But we really need it to kind of pop to the upside here if we want it to remain in an uptrend for the time being. Otherwise, this is your 2020 right here, right? So all the way down there. Pretty crazy. So obviously we've had a lot of growth here, but this is one that's just kind of quiet. It's been quiet, so nothing really major right now from the trillion-dollar giant here. But definitely keep an eye on kind of where you're going. What your resistance levels are and stuff like that. My last one here that I have been looking at, actually, I'll take you guys to the cues here, something that I've been watching. So, obviously, we have the cues, the NASDAQ, triple Q, whatever you want to call it. So we here made a little bit of money on this yesterday, doing a couple day trades. Obviously, to the downside, had a pretty decent day for trading yesterday. But you can see we are here, bounced right off that Lux Algo zone, moving down. Obviously, broke out of this. So now we're kind of trying to form a new trend here, or potentially that would also work for the trend, and just see if we can get a breakout to the downside here. That would really be ultimately my target. If we can break out to the downside, obviously you can see we're still very, 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 well, shit, more so than yesterday. Um, pretty overbought on the RSI here still. So definitely some downward momentum. You can see we're down a little bit in the pre-market. Um, so something to look at. Looks like we're right here at resistance. Again, guys, none of this is trade advice, but if I were you, I would still be in my shorts. Just something to look at here. Definitely moving with the momentum, especially considering all the hype and all the up that has been in the NASDAQ over the past week with NVIDIA. And of course, Apple is still strong, moving to the upside, but we definitely have some downside potential there. All right, guys, that is it for today. I don't want to drag on for you too much longer. If there's a stock you'd like to see me analyze, throw it in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe. Trying to grow this channel up, bring it to more audiences, so I can share my views and opinions with you guys, and hopefully help us all make a little bit of money along the way. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.